The most acute reason why Canadians are worried about Syrian migrants is the risk to our safety and national security, the risk of terrorists embedding themselves amongst refugees. Several of the Islamic State terrorists in the attack this month in Paris sneaked into Europe as refugees. The Boston Marathon bombers came to America as refugees. It's a common trick. And Justin Trudeau's rushed Muslim migration means that normal background checks are being skipped over. It's so dangerous, especially since the Islamic State has expressly said they plan to slip in amongst refugees, and they've specifically named Canada as a target. But here's another reason why Canadians are wary about the Liberals' insistence that we take tens of thousands of Syrians and then we take them so quickly. Taking more Muslims from Syria when Muslim terrorists are the problem there seems contrary to the whole idea of refugees. I mean, why aren't we focusing on the most vulnerable victims, the Christian Arabs or the Yazidis or the Kurds who are being murdered by Muslim terrorists? It's a Muslim majority country. They're killing some Muslims in a civil war, yes, but they are literally exterminating Christians and other minorities. So why is Justin Trudeau emphasizing taking more Muslims? Let me show you something. Here is the Statistics Canada website showing a list of all the countries from which Canada has taken immigrants in the 10 years from 2005 to 2014. You can see that we've taken a lot of immigrants from China. No surprise, it's the largest country in the world. You can see India up there too. Again, no surprise, second largest country in the world, part of the British Commonwealth. I started looking at this chart and I thought, how many migrants has Canada taken in the past 10 years from Muslim majority countries? Trudeau wants to ram through 25,000 Muslims from Syria in the next month or two. It's nuts from a safety and security point of view. He's reckless. But what about the bigger question? I mean, how many Muslim immigrants has Canada already chosen to take in the past 10 years? So I eliminated China and India and the US and the Philippines from the list, and I just added up the immigration from 30 Muslim majority countries, tiny little ones like the oil-rich Gulf states, Oman, Kuwait, only a few hundred from there, and then the huge ones like Pakistan, home of the Taliban and other Muslim terrorist groups, Iran, sponsor of terrorist groups, a theocratic dictatorship, Afghanistan, pretty much terrorist central. And then there are places that are half Muslim, like Nigeria, home of the Boko Haram Muslim terrorists. So here's the math, courtesy of Statistics Canada. In the 10 years from 2005 to 2014, for which data are available, 561,165 immigrants moved to Canada from Muslim-majority countries. In that 10-year period, Canada deliberately doubled our Muslim population. This wasn't natural birth rates. This was a deliberate act of social and political engineering, a decision made in Ottawa, made by the Liberal government in 2005, but for the years after that, made by the Conservative government to deliberately change the demographic nature of Canada. Now, let me say the obvious. Some of the people who immigrate from these hellholes are great people. True liberals, Democrats, people who love freedom, sure. Some of them are. I know some of them personally. Great Pakistani Canadians like Tariq Fatah and Raheel Raza, the best people, the building blocks of Canada, trustworthy, safe, charitable, public-spirited. Sure, some of them are like that. Some people are true dissidents, people who are trying to reform their home country. But plenty of these migrants are illiberal, like the thug Mohammed Shafia, this guy, originally from Afghanistan, moved to Canada in 2007. You'll remember him. He murdered his 3 daughters and one of his polygamous wives here in Canada 2 years after arriving. Mohammed Parvez is another one. He immigrated to Canada from Pakistan too. He murdered his daughter, this girl, Aqsa Parvez. Again and again, Muslim immigrants to Canada are implicated, if not in honor killings, then in terrorist plots. It's not often outright terrorism, it's often illiberal, un-Canadian ideas about Muslim supremacy, about the inferiority of women, about treating Jews and Christians as lower than Muslims. All of these Sharia law ideas, you can't even call those terrorism, but they're un-Canadian, like this Muslim immigrant preaching at a mosque in Quebec.
إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا أن يقتلوا أو يصلبوا أو تقطع أيديهم وأرجلهم من خلاف.
Or this Muslim immigrant at a mosque in Ontario.
A Muslim country, and insult Muhammad or Jesus, you will receive the same punishment. But it could also, be to the point as far as killing that person.
Or this one.
ثم تكون خلافة راشدة على منهاج النبوة إننا نستقبلها.
None of those men are terrorists. They're all just bigoted human beings, all immigrants from Muslim-majority countries. And we've shipped in 561,000 of them, with more every year. And now Justin Trudeau wants to bring in special delivery, rushing in another 25,000 from Syria, the most terrorist-infested country in the world. Yeah, no thanks. We've done our part for 10 years straight. How about we take a pause? Visit refugeepause.ca to sign our petition. We've got 561,000 Muslim migrants here already. Why don't we just take a breather, take a little longer to absorb the wilder ones, to teach them about the equality of men and women, about the separation of mosque and state, about the fact that we don't murder our girls because they don't want to dress in body bags when they go out in public. Yeah, we have done our part. We have doubled our Muslim population since 9/11. I think it's time to press pause. Don't you?